Scorpio, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. We'll be choosing 6 cards, an additional guidance card, which will talk about the central themes for the week ahead for you. Okay. Look. So what lies behind you? The Wheel of Fortune. The gift is the Hermit. The challenge is the Four of Cups. God, you're the third sign to get this Four of Cups. Ooh, loads of new energy though. Oh boy, and 2 cards turned up as your advice. Ace of Wands with the Knight of Cups. You know what? I'm going to go right to your challenge, Scorpio. You're my 4th reading and the 3rd person to get this bloody card. The Four of Cups is your challenge. The Four of Cups is like living in a grey zone, okay? This is someone who sees this cup being offered to them, but they're not taking action, okay? So when we don't take action, our heart pays a terrible price for it, okay? It goes all cloudy, it all becomes very inert and a little bit depressed here. There's a call to take action here, and I'm picking an additional guidance card for you. Okay, poised and regeneration. So regeneration is about something becoming born again, very much like the Judgment card. And this poised card is like grace. It's being open and being willing to move down new pathways, to say yes to life. And your advice cards are the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Cups. These are 2 of the most beautiful yes, yes, yes cards. If some of you are waiting to hear from a loved one, you'll be hearing. If you're waiting for regeneration, for passion to be brought back to an existing bond, it will be. Love it, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start right at the beginning. So what lies behind you is the Wheel of Fortune. So this could be a stroke of luck. It could be waiting on timing, okay? It's because the Wheel of Fortune is a clock. It represents astrology, which is the turning of the wheels. What is so good about, as you know, I'm also an astrologer, is you begin to understand the timing of transits, that things begin and things end. And once we know that, our fear starts to go, because we know the wheel is always turning. And for some of you, there's been a turn of events. The gift is the Hermit card. So you might be spending some time contemplating, going within. You know, going within is a number 9. That's what the Hermit represents. Tends to be very, very peaceful card, about solitude in order to work through what you've gone through. Because the Hermit's gone on a bit of a solitary journey and he's gathered such knowledge. So it's a really, really good time to reflect on where you've been and where you want to go, because you're getting an awful lot of energy of movement here. So anytime that you do have, go within, reflect on where you've been and how you want your the new era to unfold. Because the challenge is that Four of Cups. There's a feeling of being a bit in that grey zone. Don't like seeing that for you. Most people are in it for some reason. I don't know if it's Mercury retrograde or the fact that we're getting to the end of a year cycle. So a lot of people go within because if you don't go within, you go without. Going within and reflecting is a really important thing. I just don't want you to stay stuck there, Scorpio, because in that way it can be a very, very, very heavy card. Our hearts feel a bit clogged, because your advice is the opposite, is to stand up and move forward, okay? Now, how other people are showing up for you is the Chariot card. So there's a lot of movement. a lot of change and forward direction in your relationship house. How I read the Chariot card is both sphinxes are moving together. So if there's been a sense of you and your relationships not being harmonious, the Chariot's a really good card for direction being set, for intention, about where you want to be going next, okay? Now the Page of Wands is the central issue. This is about new opportunities. Some of you, if you're not already in an existing relationship, this page is walking towards a Chariot in your relationship house. So you might be moving forward, making an offer to someone. You might be showing interest to someone. That's a sort of energy, and it's your advice, because the advice, as I said, very exciting advice cards. No one else got such exciting advice cards as the Ace of Wands. This page has the wand in his hand. This is the wand of new beginnings, passion, very much about sexual attraction, and you're walking towards this Chariot. So there's definitely a key between you and your relationships this week, guys, okay? The Knight of Cups is about going forward. It's your advice card, so it might be you saying yes to someone or making an offer which looks like the other person will say yes to. I want to know more about this Four of Cups. Now, I'm not judging it, because the way Scorpio does contemplate for a very long time before it takes action, because you represent the soul and that deep water element, but you can't stay too long there, because when you stay too long there, the water turns to mud and depression, and there comes a point where we need to stand up and take an action, because that's what clears our relationship dynamic. That's what clears whatever difficulties are going around us. So why is this Four of Cups a challenge? Because of the Queen of Cups, okay? So this is an interesting look at these cards. So this guy is just staring at this cup, gift from the universe. But this Queen is going forward, offering it. I think this might be a message for a few Scorpios that you're not quite sure what to do around your emotional world, okay? Pushed and pulled in different directions. For some of you, you know exactly what you want to do, but there's been a feeling of inertia, of feeling a little bit bogged down. And really what you need to do to move that energy is to take an action. Because when we take action, it burns through that feeling of inertia, and our heart becomes very, very joyful and very, very light again. And that's exactly what I want for you guys, okay? Very interesting, yeah. We got the Deep Knowing card. Deep Knowing card is about... So, if any of you have been in difficult relationship vibes, the Deep Knowing card is, there's a sense of you know about the nature of a particular person, that your destinies were always meant to cross, of love. And if you and the other person has been in this state of being a little bit depressed, it's okay. Everything passes. That's what the wheel is. That's what its meaning is. But maybe some of yous are a little bit in between worlds. This will be the Four of Cups. It's this grey area. And you're moving to the orange, the Ace. Look, how bizarre is that? Moving from the Four of Cups to the Action card. And then see how your world begins to change, Scorpio, because we move, your world will become technicolor rather than grey, okay? But you never beat yourself up, because we are who we are. And you have got a certain way that you work things through. And you have to honour your own soul and the way you process things. But then you also have to stand up and move forward, guys, which is exactly what your advice is. New opportunities coming your way. I want you to grab them. It's very exciting, very passionate, and loads of enthusiasm. Okay, Scorpio, love yous, guys. Thank you for all the support you've given me this year. You know who you are, for all your likes, private readings, shares. I wouldn't exist without your support. Loads of love. Bye.